Hey everyone, it's Steven at Gutter Pop Comics in Buffalo, New York, 1421 Hurdle Avenue. It is October 26th, 2021. It's about 9:30 p.m. And each week we do a little video where we go through the week's new releases. Just do a little flip through, first impressions for customers. These are not reviews. We usually do recommendations later in the week. If you see anything you like, feel free to message any of our social media, and we will set anything aside for you. We update our website, gutterpopcomics.com, about a week after the new releases. And we do this so our regular customers and our customers who follow our social media get first dibs on anything. After that, we upload it to our website, gutterpopcomics.com, where everyone gets a fair shake at it. And we have a very robust website. It has all of our new graphic novels and back issues and small press comics in stock. So definitely worth looking at. Our website, but that's not what we're doing right now. We are going to look through the week's new releases. So I'm going to set up this camera here. I had pretty good luck last time. Oops, as I block. I was trying to do that a little faster. I'll go ahead and just move some stuff so I can have a nice little display area. Should have maybe done this before, but you know. So we'll get into it. I mean, let's do the small press stuff first. So we did get our copies in of this comic. Let me just orient the camera a little bit. That's pretty cool. I'm still new to all of this, but this is a pretty awesome looking comic that's got like sort of like a retro 80s flair to it. And yeah, so a bunch of people, we posted about this on Instagram and a bunch of people pre-ordered it. It is not for kids. It looks like it's for kids, but it's sort of like, kind of like a faux, I don't know. It feels like a lost classic or something. Like, it's like on this like wonderful, like kind of newsprint, and man, it's just awesome. So that was really exciting to get contacted by those folks. But yeah, so tomorrow, anyone who pre-ordered that will get an email for that. Same goes for this. No One Comes to the Lake Anymore by Charles Forsman. The first printing of this, it was 300 copies and it's sold out, I think, in as many hours. And so it wasn't available to shops to order, but we were able to get like 20 or 25 copies of this like Jason fan comic by Charles Forsman. Jason's having like an existential crisis. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but it's very, very good. So we do have copies of that. There's a little sticker that comes with it, but it's $6. It's the second printing. Anybody who pre-ordered this, their copy is set aside already, and they'll be contacted tomorrow once I start messaging customers about their subscriptions and everything. Holler number 4, I've been reading this and really enjoying it. Jeremy Massey, but it's sort of like a, like a slice of life comic about like a fictitious like grunge punk band, and it's been super good. And so we've been getting these issues in, and it's really good. I think we are out of the first issue, but I'm going to try and reorder it. But I know we have issues 2 and 3 in stock. But that's super good. Feel free to message me if you're interested in having me track down the first issue. Dino Beasts, issue 3 came in. And so this is like an insane, violent fight comic with these like super ugly Dino people characters, Dino people. And we restocked issue 1, but we have all 3 issues in stock. This is an insane, wonderful, like fight comic. Kind of like, this makes me think of that video game, Primal Rage. I don't know if anyone remembers that. This isn't a small press thing, but our only copy came in damaged. And I think we've had this in the store before. This came out earlier this year, but we were just able to get a restock on it, and then our only copy came in damaged. And I wish we were a big enough store where we could order multiple copies of these things, but we're still, we're 5 years into Gutter Pop Comics, and we're still like, we're still learning how to do this, and still, I guess that's a long way to say that we're broke and we don't have a lot of money. But beautiful. This comes out every year. We've stocked this in the past. This is like a Japanese illustration magazine. And they, wow, for a second I thought that was local artist Dylan England with that kind of, I thought that was a collage, but I'm looking through the camera. So shout out Dylan. But yeah, these are always great. And I always learn, there's always like new artists that I'm unaware of. And so I know that I follow this person on Instagram. I don't know their name just because there's so much stuff on Instagram, but so much cool stuff. But yeah, you just get like a good sense of like what's going on in like the Japanese illustration world from these. And so definitely like some like, mangaka artists, and then other folks are just just illustrators. So they're not like making comics, but man, so yeah. So let me know if you're interested in buying like a damaged copy of that. I can try and, let's do something different. So that was let's keep going with the illustration stuff. So when I reordered that, I also reordered this, and this was something that I think this came out last year, but I saw it open for, it was like available to order again, maybe through Diamond, I don't remember, but this was really fun. This is a bunch of modern artists sort of reinterpreting like 80s aesthetic. So again, I don't think they're all Japanese. I think it's folks from all over, but just sort of working in this like kind of 80s manga style. So like, lots of neon and just like that kind of city pop aesthetic. So this was published by Pi Books, and pretty much everything they put out is beautiful, and I always try and stock their stuff. But yeah, new retro illustration. So that came out last year, but I'm happy to have that back in the store. And then another illustration book. This is $45. This was an artist I was unfamiliar with, but Peter from The Beguiling kind of hipped me to this. And these are just like beautiful illustrations on really shiny paper. So the glare is going to really not cooperate, but let's see if I can find some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, look at the dates on these, 1929. And so I was unfamiliar with this artist, but it's like just really beautiful work. So I have 2 copies of this. I can get more though. So if, don't be shy. Yeah, just beautiful figure drawing and just like amazing brushwork, and these scans of the old printing just really looks great. Looks even better when there's not like a ton of glare, but I'm unfamiliar with Collier's magazine. Really unfamiliar with this artist, so I'm really speaking from a point of ignorance, but I was really floored by just how beautiful it was. So, wow, I'm already 9 minutes into this video, and I don't, dang, okay. So let's get into some comics. So they're repackaging the old Matt Fraction, David Aja, I don't know how to pronounce his name, comics. And this is essential stuff. That's an essential issue, the dog issue. But this was sort of like a famous run, and I'm very happy that they're repackaging it for a new audience. Like hopefully, it's like deservedly how do I say that? Yeah, you get it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm always hand selling the My Life as a Weapon stuff, and then this is just a new edition of that. New volume of Mob Psycho 100, volume 7 by the artist One. I was just talking to a customer today. My understanding is that this is the One Punch Man artist, and that they had originally serialized One Punch Man as a webcomic, but then when it got attention, I mean, it got a lot of fans, but their art style was like super, very funny and raw, and so like the manga studio that they work with in Japan, like set them up with a slicker, more marketable artist. But this series is like really funny and charming. Speaking of which, that artist is Yusuke Murata. And then I think our copies were delayed. So I think this came out last week or the week before. That was not the slickest page to turn to. But if you look closely, yeah, like the art is not by One. And you just get like a little more, like a slicker, kind of more traditional like manga shonen art style. So, you know, this is sort of a huge, very popular Shonen Jump comic in Japan. I guess the anime people have bailed on. I guess it started to suck, but then the comic is still good. So we've had some art books by Peyo in the store before, but this is the first time we've ever had one of their comics. So Boy Meets Maria. I believe this is just like a one and done kind of thing. So I'm very, very excited. I like this artist a lot. But I've never read any of their comics, so pretty exciting. Another very popular comic, Seven Deadly Sins. This collection is called Original Sins, and it's just like little short stories or whatever. So I don't know if it's a great place to start for Seven Deadly Sins. This is by the creator of Bleach. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but Tite Kubo. And what provocative, so it's shrink wrapped, it's called Burn the Witch, and it says, don't judge a book by its cover. Man, I guess I'm gonna have to open that to figure out what the heck that is, but pretty wild. Ivanhoe Bacchus by Nicholas Andre. This is, I don't know if this creator is French or French-Canadian, but it was definitely originally published in French. And I feel like I got to take a sneak peek at it somewhere, and it's extremely cool. Looking, I have no idea what the story is. But I'm a sucker for this kind of like, you know, I don't know if he's supposed to be like a kid or sort of like kind of like a, yeah, I mean, he's obviously like a kid, but it's like, I don't know, just like this perspective of this, you know, I don't know. I'm having trouble articulating it, but yeah, it's the guy's son, but just like everything from his perspective. It looks really cool. Got a couple customers reading this. I don't know anything about it. Whisper Me a Love Song. Romantic, right? Sounds romantic. But this is something like a customer would have to tell me to read that. Not that I wouldn't want to just check it out, but I don't know anything about it. So shout me out, send me a message if I should be reading that. Ken Nomura is a creator I follow, and they've got a new collection. This is from Yen Press. And it looks really beautiful. I love just the little bit of red. That's always such a great design choice. This looks great. You know, yeah. Never Open It. The Taboo Trilogy. It's a pretty provocative title. I have some customers that really love this Winona Earp character, and so I'm probably just ordering it for them. I would love to check this out, though. I've heard it's sort of like maybe a schlocky good time, maybe not schlocky, I don't actually recall. But I believe this is like a comic book based on a TV show. I mean, as I flip and there's like photos of the actors, so that wasn't like some deep insight on my part. But yeah, I've heard that's like a fun time. This stuck out to me when the single issues were coming out. I did not get the chance to read it. This isn't what I remember it looking like, but I remember the art being really fresh looking. But definitely looks cool. I don't know, is this based on a video game or something? 1,000 years after humans have gone extinct. Gosh darn it. So like 2024? When do you guys think when is that? After humans have gone extinct. Should have mentioned this is a very violent, scummy scumbag book. Not just scumbags don't have to be the only people. You don't have to be a scumbag to enjoy the comic book Scumbag, is all I'm trying to say. I don't know this one. This was like a Comixology original. They've been, without getting into a conversation about whether I think Comixology is good or bad. Oh, and I misspoke. I was thinking of a different book. So this is Bank Shot. I follow Alexis DeCampi. I like their names, Crisscross and Snakebite Cortez. I'm unfamiliar with these creators, but this looks cool. Sorry, there's a different Dark Horse book that came out this week that, so I'll save my half-informed opinions for later on that topic. This has been a huge seller for us. Corey, this is Corey's staff pick. Corey at the shop, shout out Corey. Department of Truth, Volume 2. I think local legend Tyler Boss has a short story in here. I could be wrong about that, but I know he did one of the issues. Oh, this is 8 through 13, so no, his issue isn't collected in here. So again, I'm just full of fake news, but yeah, that's a big one. This came out last week. But I, in my haste, I did not fully realize that this was the final volume of Attack on Titan. So if you've been looking for I think for some folks it's just helpful to know that there's an end. Like other folks, they like to just be along for the journey, but then some people it's you could get into a berserk situation where the artist passes away before it's finished, and some folks that's super crucial. So if that was something you were on the fence about starting that series, then the issue 34 is the final one. The Walking Cat, I would love to see what this is actually titled in Japan. I bet it's not The Walking Cat, which is to evoke The Walking Dead, for this is a cat's eye view of the zombie apocalypse. So, that was sort of... There is a cynical part of me that feels like this was created in a laboratory where they it's like people who love cats, people who love zombies. That's not so much of a stretch, right? But the art is way better than it needs to be to sell something like this. And, it could be really good. I mean, we all like Junji Ito's Cat Diary. But yeah, no, this could be cool. But this is gonna be something where my to-read pile is so epic that I would need a customer to let me know. And one of the reasons my to-read pile is so epic is the wonderful folks at Drawn and Quarterly are continuing to publish or translate and publish work by the other Suge. So this is this is Yoshiharu Suge, and these are really, really great. I believe this falls under that category, the Garo artists. So this is late 60s, early to mid 70s manga, Japanese comics that were kind of breaking the mold. There's at least a soft analog to the American Underground cartoonists, but just trying to tell stories that maybe weren't as commercial as Astro Boy or something, or in our case, Spider-Man. And yeah, just trying to break open the genre. And so yeah, really happy. I remember when Drawn and Quarterly first, that was the first like Garo I ever read, was the when they did the Pushman book. And that was a huge deal for me personally. Just like how right now Glacier Bay is publishing small press comics from Japan. Just like I didn't know at the time, like in the early 2000s, like I knew about Dragon Ball and Ghost in the Shell, Akira manga stuff, but not I didn't know that there was like also like slice of life genre comics or whatever, or horror comics, just like Jack Common's 3 for the Money and other stories. Fantagraphics, the publisher of this, has been doing these beautiful black and white editions of like classic old pulpy comics, and this looks like a particularly good one. There's our man. Yak Common. This is an Image comic. It's like a kind of a, it's kind of violent, but it's kind of like got this like Saturday morning cartoon fantasy vibe, which is cool. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons like kind of comic, but it's got this like really fun, colorful vibe. But it's also like, like there's some permadeath in the comics. It's not just for tiny children, but not for tiny children. Maniac of New York, sort of Maniac cop meets Jason, I guess, in that he's got like a hockey mask, I think. So there's our guy. I've heard this is really good. 'Tis the season for a violent, a good time. So if that's your cup of tea, I've heard good things about Maniac of New York. Shocking that there's not a Maniac cop comic book, right? This is a softcover edition of a Dark Horse book of horror that we've had before, a bunch of short stories by various acclaimed Dark Horse, the publishing company, like creators that they've worked with before. And so some really great stuff in here. I believe this is priced pretty, well, $25. I mean, that's pretty standard, I guess. I'm 0 for 2. I wonder what that Comixology book was I was thinking of. The Necromance. I don't need to open this one, but it's like I think he dies and gets brought back as a zombie, and it's like there's okay, I'm glad I opened it. The world's liveliest corpse at your service. That's great. Okay, I love this comic now. That's great. So one of the characters I think dies and comes back as, oh my gosh, can they print that? So it looks like kind of a silly, horny good time for teens and up, I guess. I don't know why, but I just keep thinking that this book is called Dracula and Son, and that's like just so good to me. This is like a... Here's that thing. But now the moment has passed, and so I'm standing like in the most awkward spot, and I keep forgetting how the camera works. So another day on the job, done mediocrely. So this is Vlad and his buddy Dracula and the son of the dragon. So the son of Dracula. I wonder if they get like an Alucard reference in there. Look at this. Oh my gosh. 4 Hellboys, all in a shiny box. So if you don't have that, that's an easy way to rectify that. Maybe a gift for the Heckboy fan in your life. Omnibus doesn't fit perfectly on the camera. Shrink wrapped, can't open it. This artist is really fun, and this is a collection of the Nocturnals comics. So the Nocturnals Omnibus, a horror-themed action comic. much like this. Marvel Masterworks, Dracula comics, all collected in this handsome hardbound, very dated looking, they're still making these. So I don't normally order these, and I was like, you know what? It's issues 1 through 11, 'tis the season. Maybe someone would be interested in, some Draculas. And then it's like they still put this volume 314 on the spine, as if comics weren't alienating enough. You're like, is this something? I guess I have to read 313 other volumes before I get to this. So shame on you, Marvel. That's just terrible design. Not even graphic design, just like, what is the point of that? Who is collecting 314 volumes of Marvel Masterworks? Insane. On the total flip side, wonderful design and wonderful marketing choice, book salesmanship. If Marvel can't figure out how to sell books, Brian K. Vaughan sure can. And I love these new omnibus editions. A lot of them are from Image, but I know we've gotten some from other publishers. Most notably, I think we got a Sweet Tooth one and some others. But this is the whole shebang, to quote Rob Schraub. So all the issues in one tome. None of the bonus stuff that comes with the deluxe hardcovers. But if you're ever on the fence, for $50, you can get the whole run of Paper Girls, the complete story. It's a staff favorite, fan favorite comic. Okay, got a couple more. Friend of the shop, Stephanie Phillips, wrote this wonderful messed up comic. I think there's a sequel coming, and I was blown away by this. So, perfect for the Fallout fan in your life. Perfect for somebody who's into political, thrillery, dystopian, post-apocalyptic stuff. So, really wonderful. Also really wonderful is Bitter Root. Just a fun, eccentric, like horror action comic. 'Tis the season. Highly recommended Bitter Root. So I'm going to grab the kids' books. We're going to break tradition a little bit. You know what? Actually, I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to switch back to handheld mode. I would be remiss in mentioning that we did get this Immortal Hulk figure. A little on the nose, the world on fire, and this big old Galactus boy and the Silver Surfman. Pretty cool. All right, so for all ages, a new Mutts collection. I do not get the paper anymore, so I was kind of excited to flip through this, and I was shocked at, how topical this was, and it's just weird seeing these characters talk about the expanded Marvel universe, or kids be on them cell phones or whatever. But I always like this guy's drawing, and these are always very charming. Speaking of charming and funny, with a dog and a cat every day is fun. Sorry, that's messing with my brain. But I've gotten some great feedback from some tiny readers. They love this stuff. Very funny. Man, if any parents have wanted, I don't know how to say this, but it's like if I would love to get more feedback from kids about what they're digging. I mean, I have my sales data and a couple friends' kids who, will chat it up with me about comics. But would love to get more feedback about what's clicking, what's not clicking. So I'm kind of glossing over this stuff. I mean, they don't need help from me to sell this, right? 250 million books sold. This is a reprint of or a new edition, I guess, of a kind of like a guide to Captain America, forward by Stan the Man Lee. New collection of kind of like young, like middle grade, you know, like they're not violent. It's like R.L. Stine. It's like horror comics, but they're like suitable really for any age. It is scary, so it's like psychological horror maybe. This looks really cool. When twins Dawn and Dusk, young members of the Amazon Rainforest Mourning Tribe, discover that their homeland is being threatened by global AgriCorp mercenaries, they gather their friends and rise to the challenge of protecting it. So, yeah, if you're like planning on raising a little eco-terrorist, that's a pretty cool comic. I think it's based on maybe a book, or it's like an adaptation. This looks really good. It's about like a kid who's like idolizing, or like he's getting into, it's like him and his granddad are like going through some old comics, and they start to like really, it like helps with their relationship. And so there's like an A and a B plot between like the granddad and the kid. You know, the comic sections or the fantasy sections are in color. There's like fake comic book covers, I believe. I think there's like a Jeff Lemire, Jim Rugg, a handful of other folks do. Tyler Boss, Hometown Hero, Tyler Boss, Farrell Dalrymple, Matt Kint, Nate Powell. I believe Nate Powell's cover is like a John Romita homage. This is, yeah, volume 2. So this looked really cool. Mason Mooney, Doppelganger Detective. I just love this drawing. Very fun. So I'm sure we have volume 1, and if not, we will be restocking it soon. So let me just head over to the single issues. Another Stephanie Phillips joint, Man Among Ye. Pardon me, A Man Among Ye, which is, these are in alphabetical order. So I think we ran out of the A cover, but Aquaman and Green Arrow team up. I really liked the beginning of this. I don't know if this is a new printing of the first issue or a new miniseries, so I'll have to check that out. But the axe drinks blood. It needs blood, so that's ridiculous and fun. Second printing of Basilisk #1 by Colin Bunn and Jonas Scharf. Batman Detective. That's the B cover for that. New Batman Fortnite book. So alert to all the parents out there. This does have a new download code. I think it's a skin for this gross, the Batman who yucks, I believe is his name. The Batman who slaps his knee. This is like a kind of it's like the band getting together and doing like a new single or something. But this is Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale returning to Batman: The Long Halloween, one of the best Batman comics of all time, if I may say so. So like, yeah, grab one of them. Looks cool. I shall be reading it. Donny Cates, Jeff Shaw's crossover comic book, still rocking. New #1, Cross to Bear. The Lady Daredevil is still ripping it up. Issue 35 of that. The new Marvel crossover event is Darkhold, and this is the Blade comic book for that. Well, okay, you got me. I hope this is about a haunted Redbox machine. And I hope that comic is actually called Deadbox. Might be something else. Deathstroke Incorporated issue 2. Echolans, Volume 3. This has been really good. Oh, let me, see, you were like, what am I looking at? What is that? It's like a person jumping over a thing. Beautiful. So yeah, this is a reprint of issue 2. No, this is like a behind the scenes, the raw cut. So it's like an artist edition of that. Second printing of Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn #1. New Valiant Comics, Harbinger is like a character from that universe. Harley Quinn #8. A new Heck Boy, the Silver Lantern Club. Hellcop 3D Halloween special. I think this is just issue 1 of Hellcop, but like with the 3D, so it's like twice the price. New Something is Killing the Children spinoff. Alert, alert. So one of our best-selling comics. We've got this shiny foil cover that's like $1 more, I think, than the regular cover, but hotly anticipated. So got tons of that. Human Remains issue 2. Curious what that one's about. That's a second printing of issue 1. Kind of a provocative cover. Just this, had the happy couple, and we got like some Cthulhu monsters, and then some little blood splatter. Who knows? Published by a friend of the shop, Floating World Comics in Portland, Oregon, Steve Aylitz Hyperthick. These are always fun, like mashups of old comics, or like it's like them clowning around with old comics. Super fun. X-Men Inferno issue 2, the final Hickman like issues or whatever. Like the writer of X-Men is leaving the book, and so this is his last hurrah. So I bet he's gonna mix it up. Super good comic, kind of more of a kids book. I should have put it over with the kids stuff, but very good, great art. Maybe for fans of Bone or something like that. Philadelphia, gross. King Spawn, gross. Last book you'll ever read, gross. Made in Korea. Very curious about this. I believe this is like a cool sci-fi thing, but I haven't read it yet. So, X-Men, the Marauders, Merlin and Hector. That's a pretty cool. I don't know why I like that Merlin, if that's a young Merlin. The Swineherd and the Thief. Oh, I like this little. Oh man, this one might get. I don't think it might get swiped by yours truly. That looks cool. I might give it a flip. The Me You Live in the Dark. This is a third printing. Mommy of Madness, #3, the final issue. Moon Knight. I don't know if this came out this came out last week and we didn't get our copies or something, but Nita Hawes' Nightmare blog. And so got a couple copies of this, but yeah, our copies I think did not show up or something. So Oblivion Song 34, Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead, Kieran Gillian, Dan Mora, Tamara Bonvillain, Once in Future, a Glow in the Dark, a variant cover reprint of Phantom Starkiller #1. So pretty fun design. Can you see that texture? That's the glow in the dark stuff. So pretty limited, but I think we have 5 copies of that. Pop Star Assassin, Primordial by Jeff Lemire, #2, Andrea Sorrentino, Dave Stewart. Reprint of issue 1 in case you missed it. Son of Batman, Shang-Chi second printings. 323 issues of Spawn. Spider-Woman, Darth Vader. This is a IG-88 is like a Star Wars villain. Saint Mercy. I don't know if you need my commentary. Like, what a fun, like, just like, well, this is Storm, and she's an X-Men. This is her old '90s costume. It's divisive. That costume, I think people love it or hate it. It was the animated X-Men animated series costume, so it's nostalgic for some people, loathed by others. Swamp Dogs, House of Crows, new number 1. That Texas Blood, issue 11. This has been a hit at the shop. The trade came out a couple weeks ago, and it's still in my to-read pile. Usagi Yojimbo 23. These are the Walking Dead reprints, color reprints. We Don't Kill Spiders number 2, and then here's like a reprint of number 1. The Winchester House Mystery. Man, what do you think that is about? What do you think this is about? How interesting. Wolverine. Wonder Girl issue 4, another character that's like really blown up, just like from the Wonder Woman corner of the DC universe. And this came out last week, but just in case anybody missed it, this is back, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So this is the comic that the much loved Netflix show is based on. So yeah, so that looks like it. How'd I do? 41 minutes. Probably still too long, but thanks for hanging in there. Let me know if I can help in any way. Is there anything I want to mention before we leave? Yeah. No, thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, please message me if there's anything that you would like set aside for you, or just maybe interested in, or yeah, okay. Good night, Dog Man. Bye-bye.